You are 17 years old when the war finally stops being something heard through a radio and becomes something that enters your house. Until then, your life in Bremen is ordinary in the small ways that matter. You wake before sunrise to help your father open the shutters of his bicycle repair shop. Your hands smell of grease before breakfast. Your mother, Marta, complains that you wipe them on your trousers instead of using a cloth. Your younger brother, Emil, follows you around the workshop asking questions about every chain, wheel, and broken lamp. You pretend he annoys you. He knows he does not. Upstairs, your mother keeps soup warm on the stove, and at the end of each day, your father sits at the kitchen table reading the newspaper without saying much. His name is Wilhelm. He fought in the First War and came home with 2 missing fingers and no interest in speeches about glory. When officials march through the streets carrying flags, he closes the shop door until they pass. When you ask why, he says only, "Men who need that many flags are usually hiding something." You are old enough to understand that this is dangerous talk, but too young to understand how dangerous. At school, teachers tell you Germany has been humiliated and reborn. At meetings, boys your age are told that obedience is strength. You learn songs, drills, maps, and slogans. You learn to raise your arm before you learn what refusing might cost your family. Some boys believe every word, some pretend. Most of you do not know the difference anymore. Your closest friend is Lucas Reinhardt, the son of a railway clerk. Lucas is thin, sharp-faced, and incapable of leaving any machine unopened. Radios fascinate him most. He can build a receiver from discarded wire, a broken speaker, and parts stolen from his father's desk. At night, the two of you climb into the attic above the shop and turn the dial slowly, trying to catch foreign stations through the static. Listening is forbidden. That makes every voice from London feel more real. Sometimes the broadcasts say Germany is losing. Sometimes German radio says victory is close. Lucas laughs and says, "One of them is lying." Your father hears from the stairs and answers, "Usually both, just not equally." By 1943, the bombing becomes heavier. Sirens interrupt meals, windows are covered, entire streets disappear between one morning and the next. You learn to sleep fully dressed so you can reach the shelter quickly. One night, an explosion throws you from your bunk and tears the roof from a building 2 houses away. In the morning, you help pull bricks away with bare hands. A woman keeps asking for her daughter. Nobody answers her. After that, speeches about clean victory become harder to believe. Then, the letter arrives. You are 18. Your mother reads the envelope and sits down before opening it. Your father stands beside the repair bench holding a wrench he has forgotten to put down. You have been ordered to report for military service. Lucas receives his letter 2 days later. At first, this feels like luck. Whatever happens, at least you will not face it alone. Your mother does not see it that way. She packs food you cannot carry, repairs socks that will be replaced by the army, and asks the same questions repeatedly because there are no answers. Your father takes you into the shop after closing. He does not give you a medal, a photograph, or a family object. He gives you advice. Do not confuse surviving with being right, he says. And do not let another man's certainty replace your conscience. You want something simpler. Keep your head down. Come home safely. Be brave. Instead, he gives you words you do not yet understand. On the train, Lucas sits across from you with a stack of blank paper and envelopes tied together with string. His mother made him promise to write every week. He says he will describe everything honestly. You tell him military censors may disagree. He smiles and divides the paper into 2 piles. Then 1 version for the army, he says, and 1 version for the truth. Training begins in northern Germany. You are shaved, shouted at, inspected, punished, and taught to move as part of a group. Your rifle becomes something you carry everywhere, even when eating. You learn to throw grenades, dig positions, identify aircraft, and obey commands before thinking. Lucas is assigned as a radio operator because he understands equipment better than most instructors. He is proud for one day until a veteran tells him radio operators attract bullets because commanders depend on them. Your platoon sergeant is Karl Brenner, 31 years old, broad-shouldered, and exhausted. He fought in Poland, France, and Russia. He never speaks about those places unless someone asks a stupid question. One recruit asks how many enemies he has killed. Brenner looks at him and says, "Enough to know counting would not help." He treats you harshly, but not cruelly. He makes you dig deeper, carry more ammunition, and repeat drills after others stop. You assume he enjoys it. Later, you understand he is trying to keep boys alive with the only tools he has left. In early 1944, your unit is sent to Normandy. The French countryside surprises you. Green fields, stone houses, orchards, villages that look untouched until you notice the German signs, checkpoints, and soldiers living inside schools and barns. Civilians watch you with expressions you cannot read. Some refuse to look at you. Others look too long. Your position lies inland from the coast, connected to defensive strongpoints by field telephone and radio. You are told the Atlantic Wall will stop any invasion. Officers describe concrete bunkers, mines, artillery, and obstacles stretching for miles. They say the Allies will be destroyed in the water. Brenner asks where the promised aircraft are. Nobody answers. For months you dig. Trenches, firing positions, communication pits. You carry ammunition crates until your shoulders bruise. Lucas spends hours repairing radio equipment with parts that should have been replaced months earlier. At night, you sleep inside a farmhouse taken over by the army. The French family has been forced into 2 rooms at the back. The owner, Monsieur Laurent, rarely speaks to you. His daughter Claire is around your age and looks at your uniform as though it is dirt you chose to wear. One evening, Emil's latest letter falls from your pocket. Claire picks it up before you can stop her. She cannot read the German words, but she sees the childish drawing of 2 bicycles beneath them. Her expression changes for half a second. Then she returns the letter and walks away. Lucas notices. "Congratulations," he whispers. "A French girl has decided you are almost human." You tell him to shut up, but the moment stays with you. The weeks become a routine of work, waiting, and rumors. The Allies will land in Calais. No, Normandy. No, Norway. The invasion will come tomorrow. It will never come. Germany has secret weapons. Germany has no fuel. The war will end by winter. The war will last 10 years. Lucas continues writing 2 versions of every letter. The official version says the food is adequate and morale remains strong. The real version says everyone is tired, aircraft fill the sky, and nobody believes the wall is complete. He never sends the real letters. He folds them into envelopes, writes his mother's address, and stores them in a canvas pouch beneath the radio batteries. You ask why he writes them if they cannot leave. "Because one day someone should know what I actually thought," he says. On June 5th, 1944, rain lashes the coast. Officers say the weather makes invasion unlikely. Brenner orders everyone to sleep in their clothes anyway. Shortly after midnight, aircraft begin crossing overhead. Not dozens, hundreds. The sky vibrates. Reports arrive of paratroopers inland, cut telephone lines, and fighting near bridges. Some messages contradict others. Lucas bends over the radio, headphones pressed tightly against his ears, trying to separate orders from panic. Before dawn, the naval bombardment begins. The first explosions feel distant. Then, the farmhouse windows shake. Plaster drops from the ceiling. You run toward your prepared position carrying ammunition while the western horizon flashes continuously. From higher ground, you see the sea. Ships cover it. The sight empties every confident speech from your memory. There are too many. Battleships, destroyers, transports, landing craft moving toward the beaches in lines. Brenner studies them through binoculars and says quietly, "The wall was never meant to stop that. It was meant to make someone believe it could." Your unit is ordered toward the coast to reinforce positions under attack. You move along sunken roads and hedgerows while Allied aircraft circle above. Every vehicle feels like a target. Every open field feels impossible. A fighter dives toward the column. Men scatter into ditches as cannon fire tears through the road. A horse collapses in its harness. A truck burns. The soldier beside you keeps shouting that his arm is gone even though he is still gripping his rifle with both hands. By the time you reach the defensive line, your platoon has already lost men without seeing a single Allied soldier. The coast is smoke, noise, and confusion. Positions that should be connected are isolated. Officers cannot reach headquarters. Ammunition arrives at the wrong place. Wounded men move inland while reinforcements move toward the beach. Lucas establishes the radio beside a damaged bunker. You and Brenner take position in a trench overlooking a narrow approach between hedges. American soldiers appear in small groups, not the organized waves described in briefings. They move cautiously, using smoke and folds in the ground. You fire when Brenner orders it. A man falls, another drags him behind cover. You had imagined that killing would feel like an event. It feels like a movement seen at a distance. A shape standing, then not standing. Your hands continue working because they were trained to. Load, aim, fire, move. Hours pass without shape. Artillery lands so often that silence feels unnatural. Lucas receives fragments of messages. Hold the position. Withdraw. Counterattack. Wait for armor. No armor is coming. Request support. Support unavailable. Each order belongs to a different version of the battle. Brenner chooses the only one that seems real. Survive until darkness. In the afternoon, American mortar rounds begin walking toward your trench. One falls behind you. The next lands closer. Brenner shouts for everyone to spread out. Lucas refuses to leave the radio because a message is coming through. The third round explodes beside the bunker entrance. You wake with soil in your mouth and cannot hear anything except a high ringing. The trench has partly collapsed. Brenner is pulling one soldier free. You turn toward Lucas. The radio is destroyed. He is lying against the wall, conscious but badly wounded in the stomach. You crawl to him. He looks less frightened than confused. "The pouch," he says. You think he wants medical supplies. He points beneath the broken batteries. The canvas pouch containing his letters is still there. You pull it free. "My mother," he says, "not the army ones." You tell him he will deliver them himself. He grips your sleeve. "Promise me you won't give her the lies." Brenner reaches you and checks the wound. His face answers before he speaks. Allied fire is getting closer. The position must be abandoned. You try to lift Lucas. He screams. Brenner says you cannot carry him through the hedgerows under shell fire. You tell him you will stay. He grabs your uniform and pulls you close. Then his letters die here too. You hate him for saying it. Lucas hears. He presses the pouch against your chest. "Go." Not dramatically. Not like a hero. Like someone asking you to complete an ordinary task, you leave him beneath the damaged bunker with water, a pistol, and the promise that medics will come. You know they may not. As you retreat, you keep waiting to hear a shot behind you. You hear too many shots to know whether one is his. The survivors move inland through fields filled with smoke and abandoned equipment. Nobody knows where the next defensive line begins. Brenner leads 6 men into an orchard. Near sunset, an American patrol finds you. There is a brief exchange of fire. Brenner is hit in the chest. He remains standing long enough to order everyone to stop shooting. Then he lowers his weapon and collapses beside a tree. You raise your hands. The American soldiers search you quickly. One takes your ammunition, another finds Lucas's pouch and throws it onto the ground. You move toward it without thinking. A rifle points at your face. You say, in broken English, "Letters, mother." The soldier looks at the envelopes, then at you. He picks up the pouch and pushes it back against your chest. You are marched toward the coast with other prisoners. Along the roads, the invasion no longer looks uncertain. Trucks, tanks, engineers, ammunition, and thousands of men move inland. The defensive wall you spent months building is already behind them. Near the beach, you see German prisoners sitting beside American wounded. Medics move between uniforms without stopping to ask which flag they served. For the first time that day, the enemy looks less like an army and more like exhausted young men covered in the same dirt. You search every group for Lucas. You never find him. You are taken first to England, then shipped across the Atlantic to a prisoner of war camp in the United States. Months pass behind wire. You work on farms, repair machinery, and receive food more regularly than many civilians in Germany. This feels wrong. Some prisoners remain loyal to the regime and call every report enemy propaganda. Others grow quieter as Germany collapses. You keep Lucas's pouch hidden beneath your mattress. There are 23 letters. You read none of them. They are addressed to Frau Elisabeth Reinhardt, Bremen. You repeat the address until you could say it unconscious. In 1945, newspapers arrive showing liberated concentration camps, bodies, starvation, survivors staring into cameras. Guards and prisoners argue over whether the photographs are real. You recognize the old instinct immediately. Find a version of reality that requires nothing from you. You remember your father warning you not to let another man's certainty replace your conscience. You remember the uniforms, the flags, and the speeches. You did not design the camps. You did not know their full reality. But you wore the uniform of the state that built them, defended its territory, and accepted its explanations whenever asking questions felt dangerous. That knowledge does not make you the same as the men who committed the crimes. It also does not allow you to pretend you were untouched by the system that made them possible. The war ends. You are not sent home immediately. When you finally return to Bremen in 1946, the city is broken. Your street exists, but half the buildings do not. The bicycle shop has no roof. Your father survived one bombing and died during another while helping people from a cellar. Marta tells you this in the doorway because there is no gentle place left for the news. Emil is taller. He no longer asks endless questions. He repairs bicycles now because someone had to. Your mother touches your face and says you look older. You remember Emil's old drawing and think of Greta's note from another life that was never yours. No one warned you that families age while soldiers remain frozen inside their last memory of them. There is no Lotta waiting by a river, no perfect future preserved for your return. There is work, hunger, rubble, silence, and Lucas's letters. His mother lives across the city in a damaged apartment above a bakery. You find the address during your first week home. Then, you avoid it. Every morning you place the pouch inside your coat. Every evening you return without delivering it. You tell yourself she may have moved, she may already know. The letters may hurt her. The truth is simpler. You are afraid she will ask how he died. You are afraid to say you left him. Weeks become months. You repair wheels, rebuild frames, and help Emil reopen part of the shop. At night, artillery returns in dreams. You wake hearing Lucas say, "Not the army ones." Your mother notices the pouch and asks what it contains. You say, "Something I should have delivered." She answers, "Then, every day you keep it, you are choosing not to." The next morning, you walk across Bremen. Frau Reinhardt opens the door herself. She is smaller than you expected. Her hair has turned white. Behind her, a photograph of Lucas stands on a shelf beside a radio he built as a boy. She recognizes your name before you speak. Lucas mentioned you in the official letters that reached home. She asks whether he suffered. You could offer the safe lie. No, it was quick. He spoke of you. He died bravely. Instead, you place the canvas pouch on the table. He wrote these, you say. The real ones. Her hands begin shaking. Then she asks the question you feared. Were you with him? You say yes. Did you leave him? You say yes again. The room becomes completely still. You explain the shelling, the destroyed radio, the retreat, Brenner's decision, Lucas's promise. You do not ask forgiveness because the explanation already sounds too much like a request for it. Frau Reinhardt opens the first envelope, but does not read it immediately. He trusted you to bring these, she says. You answer, I waited too long. She looks at the pouch, then at you. But you brought them. It is not forgiveness. It is not condemnation. It is simply the truth. She asks you to stay while she reads the first letter. Lucas has written about Normandy, the farmhouse, the radio, and how frightened he is that the war will end before anyone admits it was lost long ago. Halfway through, his mother begins crying. You remain seated because leaving would repeat the same act in another room. After that day, you visit occasionally. You repair Lucas's old radio, though there is little worth listening to. Frau Reinhardt gives you one of his sketches. The Bremen railway station drawn from memory. You hang it inside the bicycle shop. Years pass. Germany rebuilds around ruins that never disappear completely. Emil becomes your business partner. Marta grows old. You marry eventually, not a childhood sweetheart waiting unchanged, but a nurse named Hannah whom you meet while repairing bicycles for a hospital. She knows you were a soldier. She does not ask for stories you cannot tell. You have one daughter. When she is old enough to ask what you did in the war, you do not tell her you were only following orders. You tell her that ordinary people can be frightened, manipulated, and still responsible for the moments when they choose not to look. You tell her about Lucas before you tell her about yourself. You keep no heroic object from Normandy, no engraved compass, no medal displayed in a drawer. What remains is the sketch above the workbench and one empty canvas pouch returned by Lucas's mother after she finished reading every letter. Decades later, after she dies, you find a note she placed inside it. It says, "He came home in his own words." That is what you carried. You are 72 when a young customer enters the shop with a broken bicycle radio strapped to the handlebars. It is cheap, plastic, and barely worth repairing. Your daughter tells you to throw it away. Instead, you open the casing and begin separating the wires. The smell of dust and heated metal pulls you back to the farmhouse in Normandy. Lucas bent over the radio, promising 2 versions of every letter, the official one and the truth. You repair the connection and turn the dial. Static fills the shop, then music. Outside, Bremen moves around you. Buses, children, rebuilt streets, ordinary life continuing over ground that once burned. You look at Lucas's drawing above the bench. For years, you believed your promise was only to deliver his letters. It was larger than that. The promise was to refuse the easier version, to tell his mother you left him, to tell your daughter the uniform did not make you innocent or guilty by itself, but your choices still belonged to you, to remember the victims your government tried to erase, to rebuild without pretending rebuilding erased what came before. Your father told you not to confuse surviving with being right. Lucas asked you not to deliver the lies. It takes most of your life to understand that they were asking the same thing. The radio continues playing. You place the empty pouch beneath the sketch, close the shop for the evening, and step outside. There is no battlefield waiting for you. No officer shouting. No promised return to the boy you used to be. Only the difficult life that came after, and the truth you finally chose to carry.